Putin's attending these rallies, and yet we are seeing increasing protests taking place in Russia, be that on news channels or actual protests out on the street. And I think one thing that I find really fascinating is the actual impact of sanctions on everyday Russian citizens who perhaps don't support the war or perhaps, don't take that much of an interest in current affairs to really know either way. Arlene, have we seen much about how these sanctions play out for your sort of everyday Russian citizen?
Well, I think that's always the key. And I mean, Paul and I and you have talked about this in the past, that it's actually ordinary families and ordinary people in Russia who will be hit by the sanctions. I'm not sure that if you had an 18-year-old son being sent off to war in Ukraine, you would have been very supportive of the war in any event. But certainly when you're having difficulty going to the shops and having your basic food supply there, that's certainly going to make you think about what your leader is involved in. And it's interesting, I think, Diana, that our own government has involved itself in trying to counter some of the disinformation in Russia with a government information cell set up to counter the sort of disinformation that Russia is putting out there. They're trying to counter that, to tackle it, put out the truth of what's going on in Russia. They're paying for advertisements right across Russia, not just relying on social media. So I think it's interesting that our own government is saying that they want to influence ordinary Russians in a way to say to them, this is what your leader is doing, it is wrong, and therefore you should react in the appropriate way.